and welcome to my first contact juggling tutorial. Today I'll be covering all the beginning stuff for contact juggling, like ball size and beginning moves you can try. So let's get started. For ball size, I don't know, it kind of depends on the person, gender, hand size, etc. For me, this is my favorite one. It's a 85mm, and I also have a 100mm, but I find the 85mm to be a lot better for practicing and whatnot. The 100mm makes my wrist get pretty sore pretty fast, but it does glow blue and I like it. I also have a 100mm stage ball, which is amazing for practicing. My beginning ball was, where'd it go? I think this is a 75mm. It's all dinged up and whatnot. Yeah, this one was pretty good for starting, at least, but I could never stay with it for single ball. Multi-ball maybe. Then I have 4 of these, except I seem to have lost my 4th one. And that kind of makes me angry, but okay. For starting, if you can't order one right away, or while you're waiting to order, I find a tennis ball to be amazing. These ones are the hard case. They can't really squeeze too well, but so if it isn't heavy enough for you and you find it flying away too often, cut a hole in it, fill it with barley or some other thing. Just don't get it wet because that gets really disgusting. But yeah, these ones have a bit more weight to them than normal ones, so I find them to work quite well. I got 3 to let people play around with when I was doing some performances and whatnot. They actually don't even work a little bit for multi-ball. Let's see, dog toys actually work pretty amazingly. I really like this one. It's all spiky. It's just a hollow squeak toy. But yeah, so if you're waiting for your acrylic to come in and whatnot, tennis balls are normally quite easy to find and for a very cheap price. And if you don't have a dog, local Zellers or something like that will have packs of 3 for like $1. So for beginning moves, obviously the cradle, which is just the middle finger down and evenly distributing the weight between all 3 fingers. There is also the 2-finger cradle, which isn't really necessary to begin with, but you know, it's always nice to have. So start in the cradle, start tossing and whatnot, trying to catch in it, practice with both hands. Once you're comfortable with it, then start throwing it to the cradle from different angles and whatnot. It can help a lot to get out of just the single plane like this, and once you start getting better, it'll start clinging to your hand a little bit more, and then you can actually get into the butterfly opposed to the windshield wiper where you just toss it from one side to another. And the butterfly is moving your elbow a little bit more, so you get a little bit more inertia in doing its thing and whatnot. And then there's a bunch of things you can do with that and whatnot, and I still need to work on my right hand. I'm left-handed, by the way. So the heavier the ball is, the slower it'll be, so it's another thing to keep in mind. It takes a long time just to get the cradle down. It took me, I think, a day and a half just to be able to toss it like eye level, which is all you really need. So if you're getting really sick of just going like this for hours on end, there's a few moves that you can learn in a few seconds, and those are things like the finger rolls, and they're really easy to do. You just move it from one finger to another, and you don't really have to learn how to isolate it at first, but with the weight of a ball like this one, it works really smooth, and it's just, you can really feel it's there. But yeah, things with like lighter balls like this, it kind of bounces around a little bit more, but yeah, if you have an acrylic on hand, it's a great thing to practice. Another thing is the enigmas. these are really easy to practice, and what it is, I'll use a marked ball. You roll down and up with each opposing finger and thumb. And there's a bunch of different variations, like this one, where it's the same finger and thumb combo, but just going up and down instead of side to side. Another thing is push-ups, like this. It's just the finger roll, where you're rolling one finger at a time, but instead you're doing it upwards. And you can slowly release and go backwards and get back into the pinky stall, whatever you want to call it. It's really easy to practice. And yeah, you can learn these in like 5 minutes, and like not amazingly, but yeah. Really keeps the practice going. A great thing to practice after you have the cradle down and maybe the windshield wiper is palm isolations, which is just a palm spin, and it's great to have learning right away because it takes a long time to be able to isolate it, and it's really fun and one of my favorite moves for sure, and it looks amazing when you get really good at it, and it's just so awesome. Body rolling, I don't think you need to get into right away, but depends on what type of contact juggling you're into, if it's isolations, body rolling, whatnot, multi-ball. I've just started multi-ball, so I'm not too good, but probably do a few videos on it. But these are 65 millimeters if you wanted to know. I'd still say the best for single ball is the 85, for me at least. I don't know. I think it's just for my wrists, but yeah. If you have any questions about any moves or anything you need help on, feel free to ask in a text or video response. Get back to you as soon as possible. My next video will probably be on body rolling or a bit more intermediate things, or beginning to intermediate things. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and I will see you next video.